Welcome back to a special episode of Cats Out the Bag. Kelly's cons- Kelly's True Crime Corner.
Yes, I love it.
We've been wanting to do this one for a while, and it all stemmed from the Save Gabby
Yes.
chat that we had with our family. And when Gabby Petito went missing,
We
um,
dove in
it
hard.
took the world by storm, and it took our family by storm because we were chatting as if we were detectives on the case.
Right.
And the recent sleuthings that have been going on are surrounded by a new case that's been hitting the waves. And recently they just caught the killer, but the Idaho murders.
Take it away.
Take it away.
Well, I've been into sleuthing personally.
You've been sleuthing
I've
for
been
years.
sleuthing for years. Okay.
Can you touch on what sleuthing is for the people at home?
I mean, the definition of sleuthing, I think, is crime solving. But then there's like internet sleuthing. So on Facebook, you can join these groups. Like they had one for Gabby. Were you in it?
Yep.
The Facebook one.
Sure was.
Where everybody just discusses the case and like details and things like that. And I think with Gabby, because it was so close to home, she was from Patchogue, or Bayport.
No, Shoreham, I think.
No, she was at the end of Nichols Road. Bayport. Bayport.
Was she? I thought
Yeah.
she was. I thought she was.
Oh, I went
Shoreham.
to the shrine. So. Okay.
Well, Kevin went up to you because he went to the candlelight ceremony.
He went to the vigil.
The vigil
he
that
actually-
they had at the Selden Commons.
At the Silton Home Depot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because he knew the dad from soccer. Like the girls played soccer.
Kevin
together.
thought he was hot on the case because he had to connect. He was writing in the chat saying he messaged me personally,
Yeah.
and he
right,
told me
Right. He was acting like he texted him, but he didn't.
no.
Idaho murders, for anybody that isn't aware of the case, if you're just not into true crime or if you have been living under a rock for the last 2 months, is 4 college students who were essentially slashed, murdered in their beds, sleeping at night. And it just took the country by storm because it's such a creepy, eerie thing that you could just be sleeping in your bed and somebody comes in and just murders you in your bed. Like even like the kidnapping stories when kids are just kidnapped like straight from their beds, there's nothing scarier than that. And then the fact that they didn't really have a suspect for so long. So here's the rest.
So long.
Well, they did.
They just weren't saying.
They weren't saying it. They kept everything very close to the
because
vest.
they knew he was on the webs watching.
Not only was he on the webs, but he's a criminology student. So he was more knowledgeable than the average serial killer, I guess. So they really knew that he was going to be watching and looking to see if they had anything on him. So they didn't want to say anything. But in turn, they made the whole, University of Idaho campus be scared for their lives. A lot of kids started packing up that next day. They left. They left.
thought a serial killer was there.
Yeah, they left for the semester. A lot of them didn't come back in January. So it was a crazy thing.
Imagine being the 2 roommates that were left alive. Because you got to know the police were grinding them down thinking they did it.
Well, and that's the thing in the Facebook group. A lot of people thought that they were involved too. A lot of people thought a lot of things. They thought it was one of the ex-boyfriends. They thought it was a fraternity thing. They thought it was a sacrifice. They thought it was the roommates. Nobody thought that it was this guy because he just literally came out of nowhere, like a creep in the night.
Even though he was hiding in plain sight.
Right.
In her likes.
Right.
DMs.
The DMs, that just came out. The New York Post put that out 2 days ago saying that he was in her DMs. I mean, for somebody that's a criminology student, you would think, like, don't you know that they're going to have digital footprint of everything that goes on their social media and they're going to see you creeping on her?
He, at that point, maybe didn't think he was going to murder.
Maybe he snapped.
Yeah.
Right.
So, take it back to the beginning. These kids were at a party. They were
Right.
all drinking together.
Right.
They go back to their house at what, 3 in the morning?
They were all drinking separately. So the two girls that survived, they were together. The two girls, Kaylee and Maddie, were together down at a bar, and then Xana and her boyfriend Ethan were at a frat party. They all came home around 2:45, 3 a.m. By 2:45, everybody was home, and the murders happened around like 4:20. So they have his car being shown driving. I mean, that's another thing. Like he doesn't realize that everybody has Ring cameras now.
Mm-hmm.
They can digitally, ping his phone and see where he was. He
Mhm.
turned off his phone for like an hour during the murders, but they still saw him leaving his apartment and then going back into Washington where he
Yeah.
lives.
You would think as a criminology major you'd get a burner.
Right. And I do think that he was dressed in, some form of gloves and maybe covered his feet and stuff like that. So I do think it was premeditated to an
Mhm.
extent. But he messed up where he had the knife. There was a sheath, a leather sheath, and on the button hook of it, they found DNA, like a fingerprint DNA, teeny tiny bit of DNA, and that's what got him. The FBI actually dressed up as garbage men and collected his garbage, and then they got DNA samples from his dad. It was a 99.9% match. Yeah.
They started going into the actual details of the murder,
Yeah.
if you want to touch on that. The one girl, what was it? They didn't say who. One of the girls was stabbed like 57 times,
Yeah.
and that's just
They said what they think happened was that he came in through the back door. They think that he went and killed Xana and Ethan first.
they were
And
on the first floor.
they were on the first floor. Um, there was a surviving roommate that said that she heard something. She heard like the dog barking and she heard crying. She opened her door to see if anyone was there, closed it. Then she heard something upstairs, and she heard someone say, "Someone's here," which is they're assuming when he went and killed the two girls upstairs. And then while he was coming down, she opened the door again and she saw him all dressed in black. She said he had a mask on, he had bushy eyebrows, about 5'10". So she was able to describe him. She closed her door and locked it. Now she didn't call the police until 11:45 the next morning, which is where there's like everybody's like, what the hell? If you see a guy leaving the house and you hear people crying and you hear a commotion, why wouldn't you call the police? But apparently she was doing Molly or shrooms or something like that and was afraid to call the police and thought maybe she was just hallucinating.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't call the police, but it makes you wonder, like, if she would have called the police, then maybe one or all of them could have been saved. Well, probably
Yeah.
not the one who was stabbed 57 times,
Yeah.
but I think that was his target
Mm-hmm.
because he was angry.
It makes me wonder if the people on the first floor were awake and saw him, and then he just ran at them. Because it was the girl on the top floor that got stabbed the 57 times, I'm assuming.
The two girls were upstairs together, and then there was one girl on the first floor where the other two were killed, and then there was one girl in the basement, so she didn't hear or see anything. But the one girl that saw him, it's like, that's crazy. And I wonder if he saw her and he just moved. Another thing that's crazy is, so I'm in these Facebook sleuthing groups. He was in one of the groups with us, which a lot of people were saying he's probably in here. He's probably looking at everything, but you don't like really think like he. And then it was confirmed that he really was in there, and he was asking like these weird questions, like
He was talking to the group.
oh yeah. Not only was he talking so matter of factly that people were reporting him because it was weird. The way that he was like, nope, he just wanted to stop at 4. That's why he stopped at 4. He was just giving like people were like, how do you know? What are you, the murderer? And he was. And plot twist, he actually was.
And there's
the murderer.
probably so many people in that group that said, I knew it. I knew it was him.
Yeah.
Because who accepted him into that group? What's your credentials?
You just have to type, that you're a sleuth.
This isn't your first sleuthing round. You're in.
This is my first sleuthing rodeo. Yeah. So he was in there, creeping in there,
And actually posting.
He was posting on Reddit and apparently on 4chan, but there's no way to really, on 4chan it's like Reddit, but like Wild Wild West.
Mhm.
It's all anonymous, so you can post some crazy shit on there, and you'll never be able to see who it was or track it. So apparently he was on there too, but yeah, crazy.
It's unbelievable. I can't wait. It's fucked up, but I can't wait for the Lifetime movie of this because I don't know if you saw the Gabby Petito one.
No, I didn't. The Lifetime they did.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
Once
no. Who
Brian-
who played Gabby?
Once Brian Laundrie, who the people are saying that is now alive right now. Once it came out, once it came out that they finally found him and they found his journal, the
Right.
journals they just released
Right.
a couple weeks ago. They released it like a month later. The Lifetime thing. It was very quick.
Yeah, they're right on top of it.
Oh my God.
When they found him, that was the weirdest shit ever. They combed that preserve for what, 40 days or something?
Mhm.
Then the mom and the dad walk 50 feet and find him? What?
The mother's being arrested now.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, she actually is.
I want to say they have, I don't know if you could pull this up, Ben. I want to say they have something. Yeah.
Some kind of letter that said
she helped.
Implicated, right.
Like, I'll help you bury the bitch.
Right.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
No, she said, I'll give you a shovel or something like that.
Yeah, I'll help you bury her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, we knew that they knew, obviously.
they had to have known.
Of course they knew.
It was heavy in the group about one of the questions we asked, like, if you had a kid that was
Yeah.
implicated or put in this situation, what would you do? Would you help your kid? Even if you know, or are you sending them down the river?
And honestly, we were split in the group.
We were.
Some people said I would turn him in, and some people said I wouldn't. It's tough. Like if my kid ever did that, I don't know.
I think it would have to be the crime. I have to know the crime.
Yeah,
I'd be like, you have to tell me the truth right now.
yeah. If it's murder, like
And a gruesome murder, a stalking
yeah,
murder.
of your girlfriend that we know and love, and like I don't know.
Did they love her?
No, obviously not. If she said she would get him a shovel, she
Yeah.
should go to jail. She should go away.
She's gonna go away.
The sick part is if they knew, they went on like a camping trip when he got back. So what was that, like their last family hurrah?
No, I think that was his alibi. They were trying to make it as his alibi to make him seem normal.
I mean, he came home with the van and without her. What did the letters say?
They dove into a long. It was all of his journaling of their trip, and it had some stuff that was written by her, but it was like just details of everything.
Really? I have to take
Yeah.
a look at that.
Oh my God, you have to read every single page.
And he left like a suicide note?
Not in that. His suicide note was found by the parents, apparently.
Right, okay.
But no, actually,
It was found by
it could have been in the journal
Okay.
because he was in the gator pit, they're saying. He was down in the bayou.
Literally. Yeah.
What did they find of him? A skull or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Because he died of a gunshot wound to the head. And then, he's down there in the bayou getting eaten by the gators. and
He's sleuthing with the gators down in Florida or wherever he's
being
from.
gator mate. Yeah. So there probably wasn't much.
I can't wait for how this Idaho thing is going to continue to unplan because, like, we touched on the Dahmer thing, but, like, the way they got him to confess on tapes, it's obviously not like that anymore.
Well, he's claiming his innocence.
Brian.
Yes. He said that he can't wait to be exonerated, which is, like, insane.
If he decides to defend himself in court,
No, he has an appointed attorney.
I
And
will
Taylor is her name.
die.
No, he's not. But they're not going to be going to trial or preliminary hearings until July. They want a lot of time to try to get a defense. So we're not going to really hear about it for a while.
What if they see this podcast and they're like, Kelly China, we know you in the sleuthing world. We want you on the defense.
On the defense?
On the stand. Like on the jury.
Oh, my God. There's no way they could put me on the jury.
You're going to pop an Adderall and you're going to be like, we're going to see her on the stand shaking like this. We know it was you, Brian.
that's it brings up a good point though, because they're going to have a hard time finding a jury that hasn't heard about this in that
Yes.
area. So he's probably going to ask for a change of venue to go to a different county. Where I mean, it's going to be hard anywhere in that area to find a jury that hasn't.
They're burying him.
Yeah.
Now that they have someone to pin it on, he's done.
Yeah. Well,
Him and his bushy eyebrows.
I had seen somebody that was allegedly a family member of his saying that he's innocent, that he was with another dude, because when he got arrested, his first question was anybody else arrested? And they were like, no, but that could have just been him trying to,
Throw them off.
right. What this person said was that he was with another dude. They were by the house in his car, and that they were doing drugs, and because apparently he's a recovered, or I guess not recovered according to this person. And the guy started being like a peeping Tom. He saw the girls come home, and he was, like hi, and he saw him like going towards the house, and he leaves. I think this is going to be his defense.
And that's when his phone goes dark.
His phone, he said, died, and the guy had been charging his phone in his car. So he said his phone was dead, and then by the time he plugs it in, and blah, 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 and he's now going to blame it on whoever this friend is.
Do we know if this person even exists?
No, this, honestly, you have to take this with a grain of salt, because it was on the Facebook group from
You never know.
an alleged family member. But that would be interesting if that's going to be his defense, is that he was just in the area. And he said the guy took his knife.
And that's why his DNA's on it.
Right. The guy took his knife, left the sheet there with his DNA. But, like, if this was a completely unplanned thing by this supposed friend, there would have been some of this guy's DNA at the scene.
Yeah.
You don't just kill
Stumble.
4 people.
You don't
and
just
not leave
stumble in
DNA.
high.
Right. You need gloves,
Not loud.
You need the things that go on your feet that like doctors wear. You need to have some kind of. So I think it's bullshit. I think it was 100% him. I think he's a creep. I think that he is obsessed with crime, and he wanted to know what it felt like to
Kill.
Yeah. And he thought that he was smart enough to get away with it.
And he's obviously been watching this girl for some time.
Right.
If he was able to find her house. I mean, I don't know how big this campus is, but their house, how far is their house from campus?
So he went to University of Washington, which is about 8 miles away from University of Idaho, where they went. But they're kind of like two universities in one. They have like the same kind of downtown, and he could have seen her anywhere downtown. He could have seen her at her job.
He could have been waiting for her everywhere.
Right. He could have just been kind of like
Finding out what class she was
He did
in.
follow her on Facebook too. I mean on Instagram.
But isn't he older?
He's older. He's 28, so he was
So why was he on campus?
he's a
still?
graduate student getting his PhD in criminology. And she was 21. Sick.
You would think he'd be in like the criminology like department, like messing with his own fingerprints and like
Right.
there's so much I would do
Right.
because I don't know what kind of like department they have there, but you got to have like different types of things you could really mess
And
with.
Use a different car. I mean, they got him right away because of his car.
A burner phone.
Right.
It's just not making
You're
sense.
a PhD in criminology, and you're making rookie moves that, like,
Rookie mistakes. I
Rookie
don't know where he's from, but it's
he's from the Pocono Mountains. So
Okay.
that says a lot.
yeah.
That's where they got him, the Poconos, which was so crazy because, like, this nationwide manhunt is going on, and, like, I'm locking my doors at night. Like, it makes you a little more scared. And then he was, like, 2 hours away. I'm thinking, this guy's in Idaho, you know.
He's
like,
going down the slopes with Kevin and Kate.
Yeah, he's up at Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah.
And
He's
you're like,
he's at
"Holy
Slopes
shit."
Bar and he's doing shooters with the
Yeah.
locals.
Yeah, yeah, he's in Scott Run. So that was really weird that he was like here.
It's not uncommon.
For them to run. Well, this is where he lived, so he left for the holidays. That's what sucks too. Like, he got to have his Christmas with his family. I wish they would have got him before that.
Yeah.
But they did. You know what they did? He killed them around like 3, 4 in the morning. The SWAT team went in at 3 a.m. Literally jumped from the rooftops through the windows and like probably scared the shit out of him and his family, which is good. That's what you get.
His poor family.
I do feel bad for the family. Could you imagine that?
You got. They're probably saying to him during Christmas break, "I can't believe these murders happened."
Right.
Brian, did you know any of these kids?
I
I
know.
can't believe they
This
were
happened
killed.
So close by.
He was probably like, "Yeah, I dated the one girl for a while." Did you fucking Brian?
My
Did you
ex.
date her? You fucking killed her, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
sliding in her DMs like that guy that like you see like.
But I just feel like if your child is a murderer, is there any warning signs? Like, do you really not see anything in them that would stand out? Is
I
it
don't know.
Really a blind
I
sign?
wish we could pull up a picture of him because when he hit the age like 19, I'm thinking he's a murderer.
Yeah.
He looks like a sleuther.
The eyes.
Yeah, the eyes, the bushy brows.
Yeah, I know. But when he
But
went,
then again, that's like not no offense to people upstate, but like it's similar to people upstate. Like that's
right. His booking photo, I thought he looked creepy, but then when I saw him in the courtroom for his like first hearing, I was like, you know what? I wouldn't really look at him and be like, you're a murderer. He kind of looks like just like a awkward kind of guy, but like
those are the ones.
I know it's true.
Those are the ones.
I wonder if he's killed before.
I'm sure it'll come out.
Yeah, it's rumored that he was maybe going to be connected to something in Pennsylvania, another murder.
We need to do a deep dive on that because imagine there was a group of girls that were killed there. They never knew who it was. He goes away to college.
Right. Well, apparently he was like obsessed with Ted Bundy, who also killed sorority girls.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's why he went into criminology to become a cop and to become this face. But then he never had the like Ted Bundy. Everybody loved him.
right.
So
I
Brian
mean,
could never
apparently
be that.
He was good looking for back then, but when I looked at him, I was like, is he?
There's that other murderer that dodged the police for years. I can't think of his name for some reason, but he went missing for 10 years, then came back. He would write the stitched letters to the police.
Who?
I can't think of his name. But
Is it
he's another similar
BTK?
situation.
BTK killer?
I don't know.
BTK was the one who was like a regular dad in the suburbs.
No, this guy wasn't a dad.
Okay.
He was doing it in like his car and stuff and like dating and killing, but he was still like a creep, like kept to himself, but like he took the actual police on a manhunt for years. If you're out there and you know who it is, put a comment in the comments below. But it's just you never know.
I know. It's crazy. Like a lot of people were saying, imagine if it's just a random guy and it really ended up being just a random guy.
That went to their college.
Not even. They didn't even go to their college. 28-year-old. A lot of psychics were saying, like some of the good ones. There's this one on TikTok called the sleuthing psychic or psychic sleuth or something. Shout out to psychic sleuth.
Oh my god.
No, but she's really good. She got his name, his description, everything before he was arrested. And she's the one that said he's obsessed with Ted Bundy. She actually said she was speaking with Ted Bundy.
And Ted told me that Brian's a goner.
Ted, are you here? Are you here, Teddy?
Ted, the people want to talk to you. All right, Sammy, Sammy Davis, switch it to live.
Son of Sammy?
Jeff Dahmer, hold up the camera, because Ted's coming on. I can't take it.
She did a reading with Ted, and Ted was describing the killer to her.
Jeff.
Ted was describing Brian Koberger to her. You gotta watch it though.
All I can say is this. Who will be next? It's just too much. It's too much. We're going to end it here. Tell us if you want to hear more from Kelly's True Crime Corner. I have a lot of people that want me to do this and want me to talk more about it. We're definitely bringing Lauren back on with her conspiracy shit.
Yeah. Lauren's conspiracy corner.
Yep. You interested? Like, if you want to come back on?
We'll do a whole pod about the Illuminati.
All right, Ben, take us out.
Can you do cats at the bag?
Cats at a
Cats at the
bag.
bag.